On a midnight train, Georgia. Woo-hoo. I dropped the match. I don't want it to. What does it matter? You don't care. Yeah. I was looking for the cigar. I forgot it was in my hand. I am very absent-minded tonight. We have a Cuban cigar, and we're gonna hope it works, and we're gonna hope we get good flavor. This was generously provided to us by the UN, creating a better world, ending your country's sovereignty one border at a time. Borders are bad. I'm joking. This cigar is provided to us by Jeremy. His flex came in today. Much appreciated. The cigar actually has a pretty full pack, but feels light for its size. It is a very thin, stretched looking wrapper. And this was the only one, and it did not come in cellophane, but it was the only one that had slight damage to it, the box. So I don't know if it was from the box or just from the factory, but it looks well made, a little on the rougher side. It is like more of a value line for Cuban cigar, but they cost $12 to $15, which is value for Cuban. The original price back in the day, let's say 5 years ago, I don't know, probably a lot cheaper. But maybe now these cigars are probably more popular because if you go to a Cuban shop and you're getting a cigar for $15 or €15, as opposed to $100 Cohiba, like is what it is. Especially if you just want something to puff on. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to go as high as I can on this cigar. Um, it's cold and rainy outside. It is a very rustic looking cigar. Um, it is not. It does not look as clean as even like a Cuban Romeo or Monte Cristo. So what am I expecting out of the cigar? Well, I don't expect it to be that strong, but I'm hoping it'll be something unique. I'm hoping that even the rusticness of this and the low age on the tobacco um, might give it a little more oomph. I don't know. Hopefully not too grassy. This is from a box of 2023, so technically it could have over a year, maybe almost two, depending on what year. If it was January 2023, at this point, it's almost 2 years of box age. So we'll see. Soft, gentle heat. I can't stress it enough. Ask Uncle Sacco. It is what it is. And I know a lot of people probably don't even know we're on the live right now. It is what it is. I decided to go live. I do like the foot smell on that. Wowza. Smells very nice. Taking my time, although that foot is lighting up quite nicely. Drawer's not bad off the bat. So in this case, with the value line with younger tobacco, having almost an extra 2 years on top of it, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Um, Especially with Cubans are not known to be, aging their cigars a lot or aging the tobacco a lot before you get it, because they're just going to pump it out and they know you're going to buy it. Now we'll see about the construction, but the drawer is not bad. That's a plus. Okay, I mean really, because ask Uncle Sacco, with some of the higher end Cubans, a lot of them have some issues with the drawer. Drawer is not bad. Now there was a little damage on the bottom of the foot there, so we'll see if we can get past that. I'll tell you what, I like the cigar. I would smoke this at any time. It's a medium plus off the bat. And we're going to try to see what we compare it to, what's relative to what non-Cuban cigars. I don't like to use the word non-Cuban because if you use the word non-Cuban, what you're saying is Cuban is the norm. Cuban is not the norm in America. It is what it is. Thanks a lot, Gio. And we did reach over the $100 amount. I appreciate that. So I'm going to get the $100.37 on December 21st. So I appreciate that. I'm going to take that $100 and stuff it up my chocha. I'll tell you what, the cigar is a winner. It definitely doesn't feel like a high-end cigar, even though the level of the wrapper does a little wanting. It's very stretched, very thin. It's not very beautiful. However, the flavor, I think that extra time on this, it's not as, like, say, ragged or as because this is a value cigar. It's not as what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not as dirty or edgy as I thought it would be. I was expecting this like something above like a factory smoke, but like below like a solid mid tier cigar because that's where its price point is within the Cuban world. Okay, um, these are more value price for Cuban, and it's a medium plus, but it doesn't have the depth. What could I call non-Cuban cigars? They're not non-Cuban. They're either Nicaraguan made. The difference is Cubans use only Cuban tobacco, allegedly. Um, I've heard things of Cubans using Nicaraguan tobacco. I've heard those things. Could be false. That being said, um, the difference is a Nicaraguan made cigar could have tobacco from around the world. The difference is a Nicaraguan cigar could have no Nicaraguan tobacco. You could make a Dominican Puro in Nicaragua. It's just a factory because they're not bound by they're not stuck with using only Cuban tobacco like in Cuba. So, but I think it would be a magical thing to use some Dominican and Nicaraguan and Honduran tobacco with Cuban tobacco and an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. I think it'll be great. I think it'll be great. This is enjoyable. It doesn't have the balls. It doesn't have the depth. Like it has very little earth, and it's not heavy on the tongue. However, it's kind of airy. The whole thing, not just the flavor, but the whole thing, the way it moves, is different. And I don't want to say non-Cuban again, but it's what's the word? New World, I guess. But all the world's the same age. That's bullshit, right? The world's with the world. So, well, what's the difference between the world and the earth? Right? Does the earth include the water? I don't know. Well, there's earth underneath. Water can't float on itself. Throw water in the air, it goes down. It's got to go to ground. The only time you could have a flood is something has to be underneath it to flood. Like this here is holding this water. Water has to be held to exist. It has to be. So the ocean or the sea is just like a big bath. Something's at the bottom of it. It has to. Just like you build a wall, but it has to have a foundation. It has to start with something, right? You can't just start building a brick wall in the air. You got to start from the bottom. So water goes to bottom, and then it can build up from there. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm enjoying the cigar. Smoke output is quite generous, and burn's going okay. It's got that Cuban twang, sourdough twangy cedar, which is quite nice. Right there, picked up a little more heavier, medium plus, and really enjoyable. Black pepper, about 65% darkness. The finish right there got heavier. I'm happier about that. The finish got a little stronger, a little more black pepper on the finish. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really enjoying this more than I thought I would. Um, and what I mean by that is, I knew it was gonna be some type of cigar, even though it was Cuban and it was a lower level for Cuban. But in my mind, what I'm saying is, even though for a values Cuban cigar, I think this is better than their price point. And I'm not saying I want to spend $15 on a cigar. What I'm saying is though, that's the Cubans have a higher price point. So if this was, let's say, a $5 New World non-Cuban cigar, I would say this would be a really good cigar for the price point. which would that be fair? You know what I'm saying? No, because Cuban cigars, are they what? Are they 3 or 4 times the price? So let's say how much is a Monte Cristo, Cuban? 30 to 40, 50 euro easy, maybe more, 60, 70 euro, I don't know. But so is that 2 or 3 times the price of a 15, $20 Monte Cristo at the lounge? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. I don't know. Hold that smoke is very nice. Hey, Gio, you're just lurking. Is there a connection problem? Do I just need to make a video on this? Is there a connection problem? Because no one's here. Can you guys hear me? Could you at least tell me that so I don't waste a live here? I don't think anyone's coming out to hang out tonight, so this might be a short live. It is what it is. It's late night. It's raining. What was I thinking? I'm getting drenched here. I'm getting drenched. It never rains here, but it's steady raining tonight, and it's a cold rain. My balls are getting wet. It is what it is. Um, I'll tell you what. The cigar's a winner. Twangy. It's got a zestiness to it, a citrus note, which is quite nice. And one of the guys here said he got lime, like his lime citrus note, and it's definitely a nice citrus note on this. With the lip puckering sourdough, and there's like a zestiness to it. The cigar has a lighter feel. It has a very airy feel. The cigar. It doesn't have the depth of like the dark Nicaraguan tobacco or that spices that Dominican cigars can have. But the ash on the Cuban side is always the weakest part. That ash is very flaky and very dirty looking ash. I'll tell you what, the strength went up and it is slightly gritty and dirty, but in a good way. The best way to describe this cigar is if you like Padron, if you like Padron 1000 series, the natural, this would be a Cuban version of that. If you like Padron 1000, 2000, 3000 naturals, and they made a Cuban version, this would be this cigar. So the Padron 1000 series, even though their original intent was value and cheaper, and they were good dirty cigars, but with Nicaraguan tobacco was much more potent, so that dirtiness comes out more. Um, uh, what is your thoughts about comparing non-Cuban to Cuban? Is that logical? Everything's logical. It's a fucking cigar. Can you compare Ferrari to a Bugatti, to a Corvette, or you know what I'm saying, no, or to a Porsche? Has it got 4 tires and an engine? Yeah, you could compare it. Of course, then you could have different levels of comparing. Are we also talking about price point? But then how do we compare price point? Because America has internet pricing, cigar page pricing, cigar bid pricing, 1 day sale pricing, lounge pricing, I'm saying, gouge pricing. So the cigars in America have variable pricing, where Cuban pricing is bad and worse. Yeah, so picture if you had a Padron 2000, 3000 series natural, that's what this is. It's that level of a cigar. Now, granted, the Padron 1000 series have gone up in price. Unfortunately, because I think they also seen that the popularity of those cigars, because cigar prices went up in America, Padron doesn't do deals on the internet. So more people are smoking the 1000 series than ever. That's their biggest. The shop I go to, the Padron 1000 series, they sell like hotcakes, and they're like 8, 9, $10. But they used to be $5, $6. You know, shit. I remember back in the day, the Robustos of those going $4.99 for the Maduro. Those days are over. I've seen shops selling the 1000 series, 2, 3,000, 4,000, 12, 13, $14, gouging your choach. Cigar gouging is like lying about your dick size. If it's 4 inches, it's 4 inches. Maybe you could say five. But if you go around telling girls you're packing an 8-inch hammer and you got a 4-inch dick, you're gouging. Gouge is a lie. A little lying is better than a lot of lying. If you lie a lot, you know what I'm saying? No, you're gonna get called out on it. Now you shouldn't lie at all, but there's different levels of lying, right? This is an enjoyable cigar. I think for a slightly dirty, affordable cigar, there's nothing wrong with this. In fact, for $15 for a Cuban, if you can get them $13, now it doesn't compare in price to the American. For $13, even at a lounge, I could smoke the Pledge. I could smoke, you know, really great mid-tier cigar. La Historia. La Historia is a better cigar than this. However, because of the nature that you don't normally get to smoke Cubans, it has that mystique. But I can separate the mystique. Is this enjoyable? Yeah. Is this as good as a $13 New World non-Cuban? You know, or I can get Liga number 9, Robusto here for $14 and change. So it's the same price point as this at $15. Is Liga number 9 better than this cigar? Yeah, you can't just go, well, this is Cuban and all Cubans are better no matter what. That's a very stupid way to think. That's not true. Um, However, preference, I get that. If you only want to smoke Cubans, okay. So, however, yes, I can compare this to a Padron 1000 series. That type of vibe. If you like Padron 1000 series, however, it's not going to be as strong as the Padron 1000 series. It's not going to be as heavy or spicy. But for Cuban cigars, it has a good amount of spice and a good amount of dirtiness. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. Sourdough, cedar, citrus note, slightly earthy. There is some floral notes, and I gotta admit, I don't like floral notes. But I think Cubans have the best floral notes. The floral note mixes well with their tobacco, and I mean that. And I can't stress that enough. This is an enjoyable cigar. And I want to just not use my bias in a sense that I don't normally get Cuban, so I'm getting a false arousal. Like it's like being with a new woman, like, oh, this is new chocha. You know what I'm saying? No, and you're like, well, it's just so much better than my other chocha. And you're like, but then if you zoomed out, you're like, no, it's not. But it's new chocha, so new chocha is always more exciting. Like, yeah, it's new chocha. So, yeah, am I enjoying this because I don't normally smoke Cubans? Yes, but I'm also being rational about this. I'm not gonna tell you it's better than Padron 64. It's definitely not better than Padron 26. It's not better than the Pledge. It's not better than Astoria. It's not better than Liga number 9. It's not better than most mid to upper mid tier non-Cubans or luxury cigars, of course. However, and then if you factor in the price point, it's hard to compare because this at $15 on the internet, you could get some sick cigars, man. I mean, you $15 on the internet. I mean, at that point, you can get like 2 Melanio V Maduros, and those are solid cigars. And I'd have to argue and tell you that a Melanio V Maduro is a better cigar than this. What do I mean by better? You can enjoy them both, but it's a better cigar. It's a better construction, better quality ingredients, more age, more expensive tobacco. However, though, if it's not your cup of tea, well, as a reviewer, I have to bring things into context. So, yes, I can compare this to non-Cuban New World cigars, but I can't compare it in price because then that's not fair. And I understand that maybe that's being biased, but $15 for Cuban is not $15 for New World, even at a lounge. Because this, maybe I could see this being an $8 cigar at a lounge. At a lounge, I could see this being a good $4 cigar on the internet, $8 at a lounge. I could see that. At $8 in a lounge, like around the same price of Padron 2000 Robusto Natural, I could see that. I could literally see that. And that would be rational for this. I'm really enjoying it though. I'm going to drop the ash though because it is really flaky and flowery. It is enjoyable. It's really, and even though it's about 65% darkness, it doesn't feel like a Ecuadorian Connecticut shade or an American true Connecticut shade. It doesn't have that vibe. It really is. different with the Cuban. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% better. Like, would I rather have uh, this, you know, lower mid-tier cigar over uh, non-Cuban lower mid-tier cigar? If we're just comparing tiers, because you factor in the price, I mean, you could get for $15, you could get any Dunbarton like Brulee cigar, and that's going to be a better cigar than this. But it's also not Cuban, meaning you're gonna pay the price to get Cuban cigars. And then unfortunately you're gonna have to factor in if it's fake. I don't think this is fake because one, it's very ugly. And normally with Cuban cigars, if it's real, it's probably gonna be ugly. If it looked like a Dominican perfect cigar from Altatus, it's a fake. It's gonna be a good fake. Plus, also I trust Jeremy that he got these from a reputable source. Also, um, I don't know, but I don't think a lot of people are trying to fake Vaqueros. But also, I can tell you from my palate, this is 100% the vibe I'm getting from this is different than what I normally smoke. I could guarantee if you took DNA from this is Cuban tobacco. It hits you differently, especially because Cuban cigars are puros. Now, is that a better thing? It's different. I'd have to smoke Cuban cigars for like a year and only Cuban cigars. Like I normally only smoke non-Cuban cigars. And after a year, I'd have to say, well, is it better to smoke Cuban or non-Cuban? I'd have to smoke them all for a year and see if I get sick of it. Because Cuban cigars don't have the same range. There's way more range with non-Cuban cigars. Why? They got more range, more brands, tobacco from around the world. And they can age their tobacco and mix tobacco like crazy. Like crazy. And they don't have to rush production. You can get a brand that uses one roller, like the Cohiba Spectre, one roller with 25-year tobacco. At that point, for 140 bucks, that's cheap. I mean, you get a Cohiba Talisman, it could cost you more than that, and that's not 25-year tobacco rolled by one guy. So it is what it is. So even if I smoke Cuban cigars for a year and I like them as good as non-Cuban, it wouldn't have the same range, and the cost would be astronomical. I couldn't afford to smoke Cuban cigars on a regular basis. I'm talking about all of them. I can't. However, though, do I think Cuban cigars are good? I think they have a lot of potential. I think there are some really good cigars. However, is there a fake mystique for guys that they blindly go with the flow? Oh, yeah, Cubans are just better. That's a stupid. 30 years ago, yeah, maybe 30, 40 years ago, Cubans were the shit. And there was no 40 years ago, I can see that. 40 years ago, yeah, I can see that. I can see that 1980s, what was the real, what were you getting? Macanudo and Romeo in America. That's about what else you getting, right? But the New World stuff, the Dominican and Nicaraguan cigars with like Opus X, Liga Number 9, all of the Padrones, Family Reservers. I mean, you're talking about world class shit. Davidoff, forget about it. They have a bunch of great cigars. So it is what it is. So logically, this cigar only represents one cigar for the Cuban world. But is this enjoyable? Yes. Is this a good cigar? No, it's actually a very good cigar. And what I can say is for a value Cuban cigar, I think I'd rather smoke this than a Padron 1000, though. If I was comparing that, that was just head to head. I like this value cigar. Now, also, it has almost 2 years of time on it, at least over a year, year and a half, because we're almost in 2025. So you can't say this cigar, if it was fresh out the box, would taste just like this. Because you got to understand, a lot of Cuban cigars, they don't age the tobacco a lot. So when you buy them, if you give it a year or two, it's going to affect it more than a non-Cuban cigar. Because if you have non-Cuban cigars and that tobacco's already been aged 5, 10 years, that cigar is ready to be smoked. And then they aged it in a aging room for 6 months to a year. Some brands age their cigars 2 years. Atabe's aging their cigars 5 years. I'm talking about after the cigar is made, they let it sit for 5 years. That shit was ready to go last president. So with Cuban cigars, if you give them some time, I think they're affected better than non-Cuban. Because like a Padron or a Davidoff, you buy it, they did all the work for you. Assembly not required. Just smoke it. Well, with Cubans, they're kind of rushed. The aging is rushed, the production's rushed. So if you give them a little more time, it's going to help you out a little bit. You know, you don't need to give it 10 years, but I'm just saying, though, I get that though. Do I think that's right? No. You're paying more for Cuban cigars, and you have to generally let them sit for a while. You shouldn't have to do that, but it is what it is. I think maybe guys will enjoy that part of it. If you're really into Cubans, they enjoy. Oh, I bought this box. I'm gonna let it sit for 2 years. Okay, cool. A little rock salt coming into it with everything else. My ash is stacking. That is a good thing. I'm going to touch up that side. It doesn't need one touch up with a lighter because I don't feel like using another match. Now, if you do have your wrapper get a little wonky there, okay, touch it up. There you go. One touch up. I'm not going to use the big lighter to pull that in, but I will touch that up right there. Soft, gentle heat. Sacco. Sacco asked me if I eat. No, I don't. No 451. I'll tell you what, Jeremy, I really appreciate this cigar because this is a very uh, enjoyable mid-tier cigar. For hey hey,
Hey, Chivo, what's up, bro?
hey, you look fresh.
Yeah.
Hey, what's
They don't let me smoke cigars here.
uh
How's
you,
that?
you
How is the Cuban treating you?
I'll tell you what, it's enjoyable. It reminds you of like a Padron 2000, but it's actually enjoyable. I'm actually really enjoying it. Yeah. I'm not saying it because
Well, you
I'm not,
should.
you know, I mean, I'm not saying it's better than whatever, but it's
Refinery, Zealand closed.
tobacco. Tobacco. What do you have? Box seats?
Huh?
What do you have? Box seats?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, that's a flex. You got box seats at the Lakers game? Okay, for all the other poor people watching this, how you flex.
Well, let me get out so I can hear you.
Okay, so you have box seats and a private VIP bar at a Lakers game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, don't go in the bathroom.
Yeah, right there.
So it's a private bathroom. Yeah, don't go in the bathroom. You don't want to get arrested. You're not supposed to be like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
wow. Wow.
We don't want to get mixed up.
No. Wow. So how much do those tickets cost? $50?
Uh, 47.99. Yeah. So how's that? Uh, how's that Cuban treating you, baby?
I'll tell you what, it's enjoyable. It's a good mid-tier cigar. I'll tell you what, the Vegueros, and this has maybe a year and a half of time on it. because it was in the box 2023, and we're almost at 2025, right? So it's like slightly dirty. It might, Padron 2000 natural. It's like that, but I'm enjoying it a little better because it's not as earthy as Padron. Nice floral note, but the floral Cuban note is quite nice. It's got a nice citrus note. It's got nice sourdough, a good amount of black pepper, but it's very like flavor. It moves differently. So for a mid tier cigar, it's enjoyable.
Hey, I gotta use my phone app to get in.
Oh, you gotta go. If you gotta go, you gotta go.
I'm gonna be watching you.
Okay, bro. I'll talk to you later. Hey, Dave, show us the bar one last time. Show us the bar. Oh, you left. Gotta go. All right. Talk to you later.
It's too loud anyway.
All right. All right. Go fuck yourself.
I love you.
I love you too, Sacco. Sacco, listen, guys. $47.99. That's all you need is $50, and you get VIP box seats for the whole family, a VIP bathroom, and a VIP bar with black leather couches. $47.99, $48. You live like a king in Los Angeles. Really impressed. I would say, PG, that the CAO Cameroon is more dirty, more edgy than this. The CAO is more edgy. This is edgy, but the CAO Cameroon is edgier. Because remember, you're using Nicaraguan tobacco on that Cameroon, and it's pushing it harder. So it announces the dirtiness harder. If you had, let's say, equal Nicaraguan tobacco in age, like only 2 years, and 2 years of age on a Cuban, the Nicaraguan tobacco is still stronger. So the dirtiness is going to be more pronounced because it's stronger tobacco. So the benefit, I think, for the Cuban tobacco is not as strong, that I think age affects it faster. We understand when aging tobacco, stuff with thinner tobacco ages faster. Well, Cubans aren't growing as strong tobacco as Nicaragua in that dark volcanic soil. So that dark, thick volcanic soil, time affects it slower. Therefore, thinner, lighter tobacco, time affects it faster. We know this. No, I haven't got a fruit note in, but I did get a nice citrus note. It was like a lemon lime citrus note with the sourdough twanginess, almost like an acidic thing. Like if you were like almost like a bitter, but in a good way. Like if something was acidic or bitter, like a drink, in a good way though. You know what I'm saying though? And the cedar's nice, and the pepper's nice. Not really that earthy, and the floral note mixes it well. Um, but in the end, I got nothing bad to say about it. I'm stacking ash on it. No, but the sourdough's there. The bready sourdough, the funky lip pungent, like that vibe. Yeah, if you like that, yeah. So it's very Cuban-esque. um, it is not as strong as those like a Ramon Alone. It's 99 cents. Holy shit! Monster flex from Sacco. We have gotten to the $101 mark. Fantastic. Major flex, Sacco. Sacco, be careful, Sacco. You got to get an Uber home. Don't spend all your money. Yeah. All in all, the cigar is enjoyable. I think it's unique if you don't smoke a lot of Cubans or any Cubans, but it's not unique for the Cuban experiment, because if I have smoked Cubans in the past, and this feels like a real Cuban cigar, a little edgier than normal. Like it's not as edgy. I mean, it's more edgy than like a Monte Cristo number two, and it's more edgier than like a Romeo and Juliet. Um, but I think there's some merit to that, though. I think this younger tobacco in this gives it the appearance of a little more strength, and it's enjoyable. I'm gonna drop the ash. I'm gonna drop the ash. Let me do an ash test. Wow, wow. Fuente is Veguero. Wow, 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 wow. That's gonna require a touch up. After you drop the ash, you need to do a touch up. That's how you know it's a real Cuban cigar. It's not a perfect burn line. It is what it is. Touch up city, baby. It was enjoyable though. Jeremy, this is an enjoyable mid-tier cigar. It's a good blend with the right amount of age. And I'll tell you what, it is smoking kind of fast. We're 35 minutes in, 36 minutes in, and we probably got about another 10, 15 minutes. And I don't feel like I've been smoking this fast. So this thing burns pretty fast. It's lighter and lower priming tobacco. And even if you have higher priming tobacco on the Cuban, they can't grow as thick tobacco like Nicaragua or Honduras. What I like about it is all the flavors combined work well together. All the flavors in this combined work well. It's a good semi-dirty cigar with a good amount of edginess, floral notes, sourdough, twangy, citrus note, breadiness, cedar. That I have nothing bad to say about it. I got nothing bad to say about it. Would I smoke this again? I would, but I'm not gonna go buy a box. I don't know what is that. Let's say there's 20 cigars in a box. If it's $15 a stick, 10 is. I'm not gonna go spend $300 for a box. I'm not. Me personally, no. If you could justify that though, then yes. It's cheap for Cuban, but it's not a cheap cigar. So is this cigar enjoyable? Yeah, yeah. Is this cigar enjoyable? Yes. For $15, it's a Cuban, so it is what it is. All the price of Cubans have gone up so much. This would have been a good $8 cigar at a lounge and DVD. For $8 in a lounge, yes. $8 in a lounge, yeah. Um, but it is what it is. At $15, you're talking about Don Carlos. Holy shit, 99 cents and a hot dog glizzy. Thank you so much. My Cigar Stash, MCS, baby. Flex. I'm about to go buy a ticket to LA. I'm going to the next game. $3 more. I'm going to Vegas. Holy shit. Holy shit. 1999 PG the Jizz. Holy cow. 1999. Wowza. Wowza. Flex. Flexing on my balls. Wow. What a flex. What a flex. What a flex. We're at $23 in flexing. Holy shit. I got to go live every night. I got to go live every night. Pay my rent. $30 a day is $600 a month. And pay my rent in Pennsylvania. Holy shit. 99 cents. Pow, 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 pow. Mother shit. If this keeps going, I'm going to have to show you my balls. I'm gonna be paying my rent in 99-cent bills. $24. That's like gas for 2 weeks in the Corolla. Fantastic. Fantastic. What a fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that on my front chocha and my back chocha. From the front choch to the back choch. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Even in the gooch. Front choch, back choch, and the gooch. I appreciate that. The gooch is in between. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Front choch. Thank you, Sacco. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my cigar stash. Thank you, Sacco. Thank you so much. Fuck Gio and the gooch. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, I'm a regular guy. I own this fucking Corolla. I got a clean title. That's right. I got no felonies. I got no misdemeanors. Maybe I got something else too. But anyways, I'm legit. I'm legit. I'm legit. Straight as an arrow. Straight as an arrow. It is what it is. Can't stress it enough. What a monster flex. You really you touched my choach tonight. Thank you so much. And Jeremy, thank you. Whenever guys share cigars with Richie, it touches my choach. I really appreciate it. It's a dark world. It's an evil world, and it's even more evil for men. I can't stress it enough. I guarantee homeless men are easily 10 to 20 to 1 when it comes to women. Men have a terrible life. Terrible. So I'm happy to have a nice jacket, Carhartt. I got 2 Carhartt jackets, Nike shoes. I belong to a gym with a sauna, work out. I appreciate it. I own my own car. Shit, I have healthcare coverage. I appreciate that. I got a humidor at home. I appreciate that. I got a fridge at home and a stove and oven. I appreciate that. Wow. I got an 8-inch dick. I appreciate that. Thank you, God. Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. I got this piece of shit lounge where we talk shit every night and joke around. Hey, I appreciate that. It is what it is. Uncle Larry, how's your balls? Yeah, you know what? It could be a lot worse. Uncle Larry, Pennsylvania has been good to me. I really appreciate Pennsylvania. Only in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, $30 driver's license and $20 carry license. The same day. Same day. $50 you could drive and be strapped in Pennsylvania the same day. What a great state Pennsylvania is. I fucking love Pennsylvania. I really do. I'm only 3 hours away from my kid, and it's affordable. Pennsylvania is a good working class town. Really. It really is. I like Pennsylvania. I like the woods. I like the rivers and streams. I like the local people here. It's nice. It's quiet. No cigar tax, too. Yeah, I know. Pennsylvania is the cheapest cigar tax. I ordered from Cigar Page. It's like 45 minutes away. Cigar Page is 45 minutes away. What a great. Pennsylvania has been good to me. I like it. It's friendly. It's friendly. It's a friendly place. I appreciate it. And Pennsylvania appreciates me. I appreciate it. I really do. This is an enjoyable mid-tier cigar. Um, and I think for a slightly dirty mid-tier cigar, that if this was $8 at a lounge, I think it would be a real banger of a cigar at that price. At 15, it can't compare it to American cigars, meaning from the rest of the world. $15 in a lounge, you can get Liga number 9 here, Padron 26 in North Carolina. I mean, in Pennsylvania. So we can't compare this cigar at its price to non-Cubans. I could compare the cigar though to non-Cubans without the price and go, yeah, this would be like a non-Cuban Padron 2000 natural, and I like it actually better though. But I could get a Padron 2000 natural for like $7 here, not 15. That's more than double the money. So that is what it is. But I understand the politics of it, and you can't just buy these at the store. So it is what it is. So that's why it is an honor to smoke this, because somebody else went through all the loops and loopholes to get a legit Cuban in an unlegit world. So I appreciate that. I think this is a good cigar, man. It's enjoyable. And I'm not just saying that because, oh, the Cubans are better. No, no. I'm just reviewing it as a cigar. How does it stand? It's enjoyable. This is a fucking fun, enjoyable cigar. In fact, the rating is going to be a 4.51. This is a 4.51. It's getting a classic 4.51 rating. Right in the choach. Jeremy, how's your balls? You just turned in. The Cuban Vegueros, a certified 4.51, enjoyable mid-tier cigar. Cuban twanginess, sourdough, nice citrus note, a good cedar note, some black pepper, but don't expect it to be really spicy. A good amount of floral notes, and I don't like floral notes, but the Cuban floral notes mix well with the cigar because you're not getting any chocolate, or you're not getting like you don't want floral notes and chocolate like you're gonna get of a Nicaraguan Connecticut broadleaf or Mexican San Andreas. So, but the floral notes in this make sense. I talked about that heavily with the prices. $15 is a great price for a Cuban mid-tier cigar, but as far as how this cigar at $15 compares to non-Cubans, it doesn't. Because $15, Jeremy, I could get Liga number 9 here or Padron 26 Maduro, and those are superior. Forgetting about Cuban, non-Cuban, Padron 26 Maduro is better than a Vaquero, and they're the same price. So, is this an enjoyable cigar? Yes, absolutely. But you can't compare Cuban cigars and non-Cuban cigars if you factor in the price. You can't. It's not fair. It's that you know what I'm saying? No, $15 you could get shit, Liga number 9, you can get a Toro. You could get shit, you can get a lot. It's $18 to get an Andalusian Bowl this big, great cigar here in Pennsylvania. So the draw is perfect, and the burn I had an ash. I had about I had about 2.5 inch ash on this thing. Smoky great. Burn line was a little fucked up, but it's Cuban, so burn line was a little fucked up. I had a touch up, but no big deal. The ash is very ashy and flaky. That's what happens with most Cuban cigars. But the cigar was enjoyable, a good draw with a heavy smoke output. The finish was kind of long and heavy, but the cigar overall had a very moving feel to it. It doesn't have the depth and the base that Nicaraguan or Dominican cigars have, or Honduran. So it feels very light on its feet. So I like it for that reason. I'm not saying I like it better, but I think it's a good change up. Meaning, I think Cuban puros have their place. Dominican and Nicaraguan puros have their place. However, though, it's difficult to compare um, Cuban puros, which Cubans are puros, right? It's hard to compare them to like a Dominican cigar that has an Ecuadorian wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder, and Colombian and Peruvian and Dominican fillers. How do you compare Cuban puros to cigars that can have tobacco from around the world? You know what I'm saying, though? You could have African tobacco, Cameroon wrapper, a Sumatra wrapper. I mean, so it's like non-Cubans have way more selection. However, because they have way more selection, there's way less consistent, meaning with Cuban cigars, you know what you're getting into. They're very limited Cuban cigars. However, it's limited that no one else could do what they do because no one else can have. If there was Cuban cigar puros, but then non-Cuban companies like Fuente could buy their tobacco, at that point I would say there's no reason to even buy Cuban cigars. If Fuente could buy some Cuban tobacco regularly and make Fuente blends with Cuban fillers on their Opus X wrapper and binder, bro, that'd be a fucking banger. There'd be no reason for Cuban cigars at that point, because I do think blends are better. Because blends, you could fuck up a blend, but blended cigars with tobacco from around the world, I think you could get to a different level of perfection. However, though, we're not in that place. Nobody else can buy Cuban tobacco, so it is what it is. You have Cuban cigars and everything else. Well, also here's the thing, though, Jeremy. There's a lot of non-Cuban companies, right? Like General and Altatus, they could make cigars like this, but most people don't. Most people on the non-Cuban side, they want AJ Fernandez. They want to get their back blown out, and I get that. They want strong cigars blowing out their chocha. People that smoke a lot of American name cigar, AJ Fernandez or LFD, they equate price with flavor, meaning I want a real strong cigar because I'm spending $10. I want to get a lot of flavor, a lot of strength. So Americans are used to getting their palates blown out. America likes violent cigars because we're violent people. It's a violent country. You know what I'm saying though? The American song. It talks about bombs burst and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Our national anthem talks about us getting bombed, but we're still here, motherfucker. Ah, so Americans like violent cigars. Yeah, this is not strong enough for the American market. People that smoke AJ Fernandez and they come to this, they're like, "Oh, this is boring." I think it's enjoyable, and it's. I look at it as I am the Nintendo. I am a Nintendo, and any cigar is a game. And when I smoke that cigar, I play that game. So when I smoke a Liga Number Nine, I am the Nintendo, and the Liga Number Nine is the game. And what game am I playing in my mind? And when I smoke this Cuban Vaquero, I'm a Nintendo, and I'm playing the Cuban Vaquero game. So that's how you look at it. No matter what, you're the same fucking Nintendo. You are a Nintendo. And whatever cigar you smoke is a game. You could play any game. And as you're smoking it, you're playing that game. And you're seeing what you could do on that game. How many levels does that game have? Is it an easy game to play? Is it a hard game to play? Would you like to play that game more than once, even after you beat it? Would you come back all the time? Is the game not worth buying? Is the game not work? Does it have problems in the construction? You are a fucking Nintendo, and the cigars are a game. Play as many games as you want. It is what it is. The longer the cigar, the more levels the game has. The shorter the cigar, the less levels it has. The stronger it is, the harder the game is to beat. I can't stress it enough. Tell me what I'm saying isn't true. No, I'll tell you what, though, man. Nice. Yeah, Sacco's at the LA game. And I'll tell you what, Jeremy, is much appreciated. I really think it's a great value cigar. I think it will be a great $8 cigar. This should be $8 American at a lounge. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I think this would be a great $8 lounge cigar. $4 or $5 on the internet. Like, because $5 on the internet for American cigars is a lot of money. I mean, $5, you can get great cigars on the internet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Though? So I think $8 lounge price, this would be a great $8 American mid tier cigar. That's where I'd put it at. However, we're not in that reality. You have to look at the complete circumstance when it comes to Cuban cigars. So unfortunately, we can't compare this to non-Cuban cigars with the price. That's not fair. At $15, no, $15, dude. I mean, $15, you can get some crazy blends from Padron. Um, you know, exactly. You can literally also get for $10. You can get a small Davidoff. You remember that Davidoff Escurio, that little one? But still, that's it was bigger than a Pequeño. And Davidoff, that's still a high level cigar. So I mean, that's tough. That's tough. I have to go to sleep tonight, and when I wake up tomorrow, I'll know. When I wake up tomorrow, I will know. I hope it's not raining tomorrow because I'm soaked. My jacket is soaked. I am suffering tonight for you guys. My choach is soaked. I hope I don't get pneumonia. Like my balls are soaked right now. I'm in my gym shorts. I came from the gym and to go on the live, and my window's open, and I'm soaked. It's freezing rain tonight, 38 degrees. It's a 4.51, Jimmy. Everyone knows it. This is a Cuban cigar that anyone could like. It's got enough balls, it's got enough spice, but it's nice. It's got the classic Cuban. Anyone can enjoy this cigar. If this was $8 at a lounge, I would smoke it over a Padron 1000, 2000 series. However, though, if you want power, it, there's no a Padron 2000, even natural, is way stronger than this, way heavier. The flavor on this is more lively. Cuban cigar. A Padron value cigar, Padron 2000 natural, punches this in the choach with a metal glove. A Padron 2000 Maduro is way stronger and heavier. So it is what it is. I got nothing bad to say about him. I got nothing bad to say about him. It was enjoyable. I'm touching up the sides. This is my third touch up. So yeah, and we know it's a real Cuban. It needed touch ups. That thin Cuban wrapper. Sometimes it's almost like when the wrapper falls behind, it's like it hit a spot where it wasn't connected to the binder and the filler. So three touch ups in, who gives a shit? The flavor. The main thing is the cigar had a good draw. Had a good draw, and it was enjoyable, and it put me in a good mood. It really did. If I'm being honest, if this cigar sucked, I would tell you. I don't care that it's Cuban. I'm not giving this cigar a pass because it's Cuban. Like, oh, well, I'm just gonna lie because Jeremy sent it to me, and I'm trying to be appreciative. No, my reputation comes first. If this cigar sucked, I would tell you. And I'm not saying this is an amazing cigar, but it was enjoyable. It's enjoyable. What's wrong with that? And for a Cuban cigar at 15, okay, it's affordable in the Cuban realm. Because no Cuban cigars are cheap. So you're talking about 240 bucks. Not terrible, but I mean you could get a lot of other cigars for 240 bucks, especially if you go on the internet. If you go on the internet, you could get a box of Melanio V Maduro, 10 of them for like 70 bucks. So you could get like 3 boxes. You can get 3 boxes of Melanio V Maduro. 30 Melanio V Maduros for that price. So yeah, you can't compare them to internet pricing of American cigars. It's not fair. We get the best price cigars, on the internet. The rest of the world can't touch it. Here's the thing: when I hold the smoke on this, it doesn't have balls. The smoke is nice, but it doesn't have the balls. Even of a Dominican cigar, the cigar, this Cuban cigar, when I held it, he didn't have. When I'm holding the smoke on some other Dominican or Honduran or Nicaraguan cigars, whether it's a blend or not, that flavor is like, you know what I'm saying though? No, it's much lighter. It's a medium plus overall, in strength, but it's not very spicy. It's not very. It's not a ballsy cigar. Not scary at all. However, very enjoyable. Good floral note, good cedar, good citrus note, good sourdough, pungent note, slightly earthy. Some black pepper. I'll give it that, but it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. Not a piece of shit. It wasn't a piece of shit. And I want to thank you guys for the $25 tonight. I'm going to take that $25 and shove it up my choach. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Enjoyable. An enjoyable cigar. I think we're done with the review. I have nothing else to say about it. And I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you guys have a good night and you stay fresh. It's 12:30. Jeremy, get home safe. Sacco, get home safe. Gio, thank you for the flexing. Sacco, thank you for the monster flex. I really appreciate that. No, the strongest Cubans I ever had was Bolivar, and even then, a strong Bolivar is not an AJ, but it was strong for a Cuban. Wow, it's good flavor. It's good flavor. Look, at the end of the day, the Cuban tobacco, they're not. I don't think they can, and also they're not trying to grow. They're not leaving their tobacco out longer and to get the real strong sun-grown tobacco. No, it's a different ideology with Cuban cigars. Yeah, no, this was a fun live. It took about 10 minutes to get going. That's about 10 minutes we got going. So look, I mean, it was enjoyable. It was a 4.51. It was a 4.5, but I added the one because whatever, I had fun. What cigar am I going to do next? I want to do the Fuente. I want to do the Fuente Oscuro Sun Grown, but that's not going to be alive. The Fuente Sun Grown Oscuro is going to be a regular review. It has to be. I want to really, really concentrate on that. Congratulations, Gio. Gio wants a cookie. Congratulations, Gio. We're proud of you, Gio. Very reliable. Yes, Gio. Yes, reliable. Thank you, Gio. Thank you. Yeah. So tomorrow, I'm more than likely I'll do the Fuente, but we'll see. It's not guaranteed. If it's raining like this tomorrow, no, 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 no. Drawing to the nub. It was enjoyable. Oh, nice. Well, we'll have to pick out a cigar. Maybe we'll smoke the same cigar. You know what though, Jeremy? Maybe we'll have to do a double Wagashi review. We'll figure that out. Maybe Jeremy, if we could do a double Wagashi and get your opinion versus my opinion, and we'll see if it's the same, different, similar. We'll see. If I love it, I hate it. It's a Dunbarton cigar, so I don't think I'm gonna hate it. We're gonna see my opinion on it. It's gonna be my truth, though. I can't lie. I don't want to hear about it. Monkeypox. Give me a break. Too many people eating ass. Los Angeles, there's a lot of ass eating. You stop eating. Sodomites. There's only one community getting monkeypox, and they're having sex with 10 dudes in a sauna. Stop it. Stop it. Well, I just lost corporate sponsorship with that. Anyways, though, Uncle Larry, Jeremy, Jimmy, Gio, Sacco, everyone here, Appreciate coming down. Chewy, we miss you, Chewy. Richie loves you. Chewy, I hope you're doing good, my friend. I don't know what happened. You went undercover? I'm not mad. I love you, Chewy. Well, that's a lie. Those sober maces, bro, those brulees, he sweet tips them, man. That's the greatest joke. Yeah, he sweet tips them. There's no way he doesn't sweet tip them. But yeah, no, dude, he sweet tips that shit, man. There's no way he doesn't. There's no way. There's no way. That's a funny joke to sweet tip a cigar and say you didn't. Come on, man. Yeah, though he definitely sweet. There's no way. Unless if the roller of that cigar is just eating donuts the whole time, like glazed donuts. So it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. It is what it is. So it is what it is. You guys stay fresh, and I'll see you around. Jeremy, I think we should do a double wagashi. If we could do it, we'll figure it out. If the schedule works for you. You know what I'm saying? No. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way it's age. Dude, the sweetness on that, The only way to tell is to cut an inch off the cigar. Cut an inch off that cigar off the cap. Cut an inch off and see if you get the same flavor. Of course, the cigar is going to be ruined, but it's going to unravel. It worked down to the nub. An enjoyable Cuban, slightly dirty working man cigar. Now, of course, at the Cuban price, it's not a working man price in America, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying, though? If this was, $8 at a lounge, it'd be a good working man cigar at a lounge. Enjoyable. You guys be good. Stay fresh. Jimmy, you take it easy. Gio. Yeah, Gio, just for that. Let me see here. We're going to end it on that. Good night, everyone. Make sure you wash your front choach, your back choach, and your gooch. Make sure you wash it. Wash it twice. Quality soaps. No cigars in prison.